This year's theme is Cuba, and basically we took iconic images and sounds and sights and we drew inspiration from that. So the beautiful neon colors that you see, the little beach vignette that you see in one of our exhibition halls, the sounds, the offerings we have in the cafe, you know, all express that Cuban feel and flavor. And so it's a really hot place to be on a cold winter day here at Cleveland Botanical Garden, and it's a great time to come down because people want to see color. And that's what this show is going to give you. It's going to give you lots of colorful orchids, literally 1,000 or more blooms, and over a couple hundred varieties of different orchids. So even if you've been here before, this is our 13th Orchid Mania, you're going to see something different every single year. Orchids are actually epiphytes, and that means they grow on larger trees in the rainforest, and it's actually the largest plant family in the world. In front of the watercolor wall, and what you see here is a new trend in orchids, and that is basically they use a special color that is taken up from the base of the stem, and you see oranges and pinks and purples and blues, and they are just gorgeous. So, you know, if you thought orchids couldn't be even more beautiful, wait till you see these watercolor orchids. You'll see a little beach scene where we've got a lot of orchids poking in and out of the tropical foliage, and then you'll go into the glass house where you're going to see a lot more diversity of orchids, intergeneric oncidiums and cattleyas and masdevallias. I mean, things that you don't see anywhere. Here we are in the middle of the glass house, and this is the Costa Rica biome, and we have mostly man-made hybrids. Here is a species orchid that you would find if you were walking around the rainforest or the cloud forest of Costa Rica. This is an actual natural species called Orchidella. But what you see here in the show are all man-made, human-made hybrids here because there are over 100,000 hybrids, and there are more being created every single year. So everything here you see are sometimes two genus crossed or species crossed, and so the cultivars that are created are always new. So every year we have new varieties and cultivars to show people, which is wonderful because it makes the show different every single year. They usually typically bloom once per year. The Phalaenopsis is easy to get to rebloom again. You'll want to repot it every 2 to 3 years. That gives it a new bark mix. And again, you just put it in basically a sunny window with indirect light. Water it once a week. If the stem dies back to the base, cut the old stem off and a new stem will come up the following year. At the end of our show, we actually have a members-only sale, and that's on March 6th, and all the orchids will be for sale. They'll be at wholesale or less prices. So it's a really good deal, especially if you're a member, one of our member benefits. But you can also stop and visit our garden store. They also have orchids for sale. And then coming up in the middle of February, February 13th and 14th, we have the Greater Cleveland Orchid Society show and sale. You're going to see a lot of the vendors here that supply us orchids bringing their own orchids in so that you can see them and even buy them and take them home.